Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your end of November 2021 general tarot reading. I like doing it syncopated or whatever you call it, synchronized. This deck is called the Moon and Stars Tarot. And I just got it. I'm laughing at my the way I've got my camera. It's like leaning against the table. It's so crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, but if it works, right? And there's the moon. I was thinking, am I going to get the moon? Because I was mentioning the moon. Okay, well, I guess you can't see all of it, so. Oh, God. How about that? Maybe that's okay. I don't know. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Three of Wands. Yeah, I got like a shadow thing going on, but I'm just going to go through with it. Sorry about that. Because this is a new deck, I haven't got, drawn every card yet, and they do have a one-word synopsis of each card's meaning at the bottom. And some of them I agree with, some of them I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting that they have communication here. I don't know if I've ever heard that connected with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, to me, is about greener pastures. It's about expansion. Fire is connected to wands. All the fire signs, what the fire signs represent, that is connected to the wands action and values. And so how that manifests is that when you see wands in a reading, and if you see more than one, let's see, do we have any? Yeah, we have 7 of wands. That it can mean that the person, it's also about individuation or independence. And it can mean that the person feels like they have to have freedom, that they have to break away from some constraints that are keeping them from being authentic or keeping them down, keeping them boxed in. So communication, I know that three, I really, I don't really know where that's coming from. Let me just, for the heck of it, I'm just curious to see what they say in the booklet. They say keywords: exchange, movement, reliance. You have all the materials around you to prosper, so don't wait. Stretch out and network now. Opportunities are presenting themselves. It's a great time to start a business venture or a new job with an emphasis on teamwork. Reach out to social groups and allow relationships to flourish, as there will be much traveling and many experiences to be had. You may need to work hard to set the foundations for your next creative project. Moon message: teamwork makes the dream work. Aim high. I don't know what the moon message is. It might be like the reversed card. I don't really know. I haven't looked at the beginning of the booklet. But anyway, I think that it's some area that you wish to expand. So let's say you're in a relationship right now and you're dating someone, but you want more from that. Or if you are either dating or you're in a committed relationship and the relationship feels stifling, it feels monotonous, then you might want to leave that relationship and have growth. And yes, it does. I agree with the travel part. I think that can be, but it's not just aimless travel. It can be about widening your net, your, expanse. In the past position, we have the Page of Swords. They put education here. Now, I've heard Page of Pentacles as a student. Any swords can be mental activity. I would say the Page of Swords is more like investigation. So I've called it the spy card, and I've heard it described in a similar way. And so usually, like in personal relationships, when I get that card, even in the upright position, I think of somebody who is suspicious about the person that they're with. They might feel like that person is cheating on them and things like that. It can be a situation where you have engaged in a course of studies and now you are free to explore within that. And maybe this is specifically with studying some kind of, what does it say, communication? What do you call that? Studying abroad? That might be something that you decide, hey, I'd rather do that. And of course, as a Virgo, you have this love of learning as it is. So it might figure into things. The higher message is the Judgment card. And it's funny because it looks like Saturn. I've heard that the Judgment card is connected to Pluto, which it almost seems like Saturn would be perfect for the Judgment card because it is about cause and effect, and the Judgment, and Saturn is the Lord of Karma. So I don't know if that's where they're going with that, because the word karma does mean action. And Judgment is the second to last card in the major arcana, and really is like that culmination of something coming to you based upon past actions. But this is also the card of rebirth. And so as a spiritual message, I can see that there might be something that Virgos are going to, you could say, reap the rewards from, even if those rewards seem challenging. This card can be kind of like baptism by fire, depending on past actions. But it's almost like whatever is happening, you're welcoming it because you're looking for that growth. And you know that that's what you need in order to make progress. And it's interesting because I've gotten the Devil card, I think at least twice before, and I haven't even done all the signs yet. And I was stating to one of the other signs that when I get the Devil card, I often think of a narcissist. And this card says obsession. The Devil card can be like addiction, and addiction is a form of obsession if you think about it. The point being that the person, I'm not saying this is you, but I mean it could be both parties. If you're ready to spread your wings, and if there's somebody in your life, and I would typically think it's a partner, but it could be a boss, it could be a parent that is, kind of obsessed with you. They may try to block your freedom. And when I think about somebody else obsessing, it's important to note the difference between obsession and caring. Obsession is all about control. And that's what narcissists thrive on. And that's what they need. They need that control. They can't they can't do something where they can't exist where there is no type of when there's just like freedom and the other person is a free agent. They need to be very like micromanaging their partner, and they feed off of that sense of power that they're getting from it. Of course, it's a false power. So that person may be trying to thwart your your freedom. And what I was saying with the Page of Swords when I was talking about the spy card is that there may be something that you kind of sense. If you're not with this person right now, you may sense that they're somehow connected to you at a deep level. There's something that is like kind of a energy healing service that some healers offer called cord cutting. And if you have an ex, or if you have a parent who has been very controlling, you may not have talked to that parent in 5 years. You may not have talked to that ex in a year, and you still feel like they're tapping into your energetic field and they're sucking the life force out of you. Then you might want to try something like that. Is it, guaranteed to work? I have never how would I put it? I've never sought a professional in that regard. I've thought about it. But there's also on YouTube, there are meditations that you can do. And there are different schools of thought of whether or not you should really do something like that. So you can look at that as well. But that's kind of what that reminded me of, is like kind of like from a distance in some cases. Also, I would say with the higher message, the Judgment card is like about having good judgment and how important that is. Because of that idea of cause and effect, because when you don't have good judgment, bad things tend to happen, don't they? And that includes who we allow into our life. Because it's a lot easier to let somebody into your life than it is to have them leave your life. And that's important to remember. What's coming in is the Seven of Wands. I got this card in this, I think, in the same position with another sign. And this is, this idea of resilience, I have never seen that as well. To me, the Seven of Wands is standing your ground. And how this can look, it's almost similar to the Nine of Wands in a certain sense, which is more about setting boundaries. But the Seven of Wands, to me, is about not allowing other people's abusive behavior to go unnoted or otherwise, not to let it go ignored, to call it out. Because there may be somebody in your life who senses a vulnerability within you and that they seek to exploit. And it's important that you do not allow them to gain that kind of access to you. And to me, it's what it looks like with that central theme of the Three of Wands is almost like you trying to spread your wings and somebody trying to clip them. And they may even use tactics that are more on the verbal level or somehow kind of underhandedly, where they are trying to chip away at your confidence with little, things here and there. And then you start to doubt yourself. You go, and you really start to think about it. And that can be insidious. So you have to be able to call it out and see it for what it's worth, and not allow somebody to get into your head like that, and be able to either worm their way back into your life or to hold you back. And the outcome is the Moon card. Now, in this, because everything is boiled down to one word, they're using misinterpretation. And I was telling my partner that about this, like how, sometimes the Moon card is presented in a negative light. And I forgot what he said, but I was saying, it's the moon can be creative, it can be intuitive. And it's funny how some of these people that are supposedly experts, how they always seem to be prejudiced against the moon, Neptune, things that are more receptive, feminine, soft, not aggressive and ambitious, but more like yielding and stuff like that. And it's almost like equating it with weakness, with deception. And those qualities can be present with the moon and Neptune in terms of what they represent. But it just seems like there's an overemphasis in that. And so I will say that the moon is really you coming into your intuitive abilities to be able to navigate your next move and your course of action, because it's almost like going on an adventure, Virgo, and you want to be going in the right direction, and you don't want these pitfalls that the devil presents. And the devil can be an aspect of yourself, to be honest with you. You might not even be involved with anybody. Well, I would say two things. The devil doesn't have to be your significant other. It could be somebody, it might even be your so-called best friend, who's more of a frenemy, who's more of someone who, and you wouldn't necessarily know this. I was just thinking today about somebody that was my friend. And I have the moon in Virgo, and some of the comments that this person made to me, and this was many years ago, and I thought to myself, why did I tolerate that? Or why did I, but I was a lot younger, and I was just, and I don't know, I'm kind of like I have a certain tolerance, I guess. I mean, open-mindedness, I don't know what you would call it. And it's kind of funny for me to say that, because I don't know if I would tolerate half the things that I used to. But yeah, just things that I experienced, and I was just, that came into my mind. And I think Virgo, I think, I have the sun in Sag, and these are mutable signs. Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces. So they tend to be flexible, and they tend to tolerate things. But sometimes it can veer into this kind of like doormat situation when it gets really bad, when it gets, when you're not honoring yourself. So what I would say about this is there may be something that you really, and perhaps it's like the contrast between your professional life and your personal life. Maybe the Three of Wands and the Page of Swords is more of your professional life. And then you're dealing with somebody that represents the devil in your private life, and it's hard to get away from this person. Maybe it's on again, off again. I think the Moon card is about tuning into the situation intuitively without deceiving yourself, without lying to yourself about what's really going on. And if this is about career matters, then also looking at it from a more spiritual point of view, because when you're, giving of yourself and what do they call that? Service to others. When you're serving others with your talents, that's something that transcends the other concerns, like, how much money you make, what is your status, and things like that. And that's another thing. Yeah, the devil can be materialism, like being overly materialistic. And that can keep you from doing something that really you're passionate about, but that maybe that earthiness is earthbound, and it's not thinking about fulfillment of this on a higher level, things like that. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I do a lot of chart readings and the like. You can check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Take care. Bye.